Harry! I need your help. I can't take them both. Not by myself.
You don't deserve my help.
It's hard to believe what's happening. The brutality of it. I don't know how we can take any more.
This could be a tragic day for the people of New York. It could be the end of Spider-Man.
Came.
Looks like just in the nick of time.
A couple minutes ago wouldn't have been so bad either.
What are you gonna do?
Hey everyone, it's the Manga Viewer, and oh my god, everything I predicted up to this moment have all been true. Deku slowly getting and dying out from the inside, Class 1A arriving to save Deku because not the pro heroes, neither All Might could have saved him, and the second user theory. I'm about to break this all down for you and tell you what's going to happen in the next chapter. But before I do, I want to remind you this is a spoiler video, so if you aren't caught up with the manga, proceed with your own caution, you have been warned. And if you enjoy my content, feel free to thumbs up this video, it truly helps a lot. Thank you guys so much for all your supports and comments. Alright, let's kick off. So we saw the latest chapter that a lot of interesting panels that we see. The first and the most interesting panel is the door panel. You might be so cool about this door. It's Deku shutting himself out even from the One For All users. We see him actually, the One For All users trying to talk him out, hey, you should stop, you shouldn't do this anymore, you shouldn't continue. And then he shuts himself out and continue going on to save everyone by himself and holding the burden all by his own. And second of all, we see the second user saying that what Deku doing isn't wrong, but he needs someone to help him. Now this might sound crazy, but this is actually might be an indication to Bakugo's quirk, or to Bakugo. It might be Bakugo and the time travel theory, that could be possible, but it could be a character similar to Bakugo. Here's what I mean. This guy, this second One For All user, that we still don't know anything about him, have actually experienced the same thing that Deku did, but what he didn't experience and what he didn't know, that he actually shielded and hold the burden all by his own, until he fell down apart, because there was no one to save him. And that's what he meant when he said if there's another one that could help him, he can go on with that. And that's when Bakugo arrived. And the third and one of the most important details as well is that if you focus on Deku's eyes as the chapter goes on, you start to see them fading away. They start to feel lifeless, and one of the panels actually shows Deku's eyes have completely gone, which went complete black. He went complete All Might style. And the final two important details in this chapter is first when we see Deku's eyes being tired. He have enough of this, his body can't take it anymore, and he's don't worry, I will save you, but his body just can't go on. And that's when Bakugo finally arrives and he saves Deku. Now a lot of you guys have been predicting that Bakugo and Deku will fight against the dictator, but I don't think that's the case. Bakugo had a strategy in mind when he came in to save Deku. He didn't go in to save the citizens first or to save Deku, because that's not his type, Bakugo. He basically went to the villain because he knew if he knocks him out, then he can free all the people, and he aims at his head. And if you focus on the villain's eyes, it basically means that he passed out, meaning all the citizens' control have been breaking out. So now Deku is free from the civilians. Now here is an interesting thing. In the final panel, we see Bakugo seeming to talking to someone, like maybe Class 1A, maybe the Pro Heroes, but I have a cool theory. I have a really cool theory in mind. All Might himself went to the UA after Deku have left him, and like begged Bakugo or begged Class 1A to save Deku. Maybe he like went straight to Bakugo because Bakugo knows the secret of One for All. I mean, now all of them knows the secret, but you get what I mean, since Deku is a bit special to All Might, since he's been with Deku from the beginning. So I think he went like straight to Bakugo. He told him, look, here's what's going on, and please like help him, or like please save him. And then he tells Bakugo like, you know, when I was in his age, or like when I was in my prime, I thought the same and shielded the burden on my own, and look what happened to me, you know. I think that's an interesting, you know, bond will occur, because it will show All Might caring for the students and like not giving up, even though he knows he can't do anything, so he tries to, you know, go for the others. I think the next chapter will focus on what exactly happened. How did Bakugo find Deku? What's going on? Maybe Class 1A all worked together to find Deku, like Jiro, for example, plugged her earplugs and said like there is Deku's voice or something, and he's like really beaten hardly or something, and you know, every Class 1A focused and helped until they found him, which will be a really interesting as well, like team strategy. So I think that also would happen, like to explain how did they get here, because every time like something surprising happened, Horikoshi likes to explain like what exactly happened, how did this happen exactly. And then after that, you know, Bakugo and Deku will talk it out, like maybe after explaining the flashback of what exactly went on until like Bakugo find Deku. Another cool thing will happen is that Bakugo will go down and like maybe punch Deku or something and tell him, don't shield the burden on your own, what did you think, or something like that. Maybe after Bakugo arrives, Deku will feel unconscious, which will be really cool as well, because he have been working like for countless hours, he haven't slept for a long time, his eyes are basically lifeless at this moment. So maybe like after he gets unconscious, Class 1A will arrive and everyone will start checking on him. Another cool thing that one of you guys have predicted, and Wolfie Moon as well, is that she said that Bakugo and Deku will have like some sort of a talk between them, and you know, they will try to talk things out, and Bakugo will try to explain to Deku how not to shield the burden on his own. Another cool theory that one of you guys have predicted, that Bakugo isn't actually the real Bakugo. It's, you know, one of the clones that Toga made. Now that's not the case, but here's a cool theory that actually like sparks in my mind when I first heard this. You remember chapter 285, right, when Bakugo got pierced in his stomach? Well, what if Shigaraki, or let's say All For One, since All For One was in control, when he aimed those forcible quirk activation, he wasn't trying to like, you know, kill Deku, because that wasn't his aim. He was trying to take blood from Deku so that Toga can use her quirk and, you know, like have a clone of Deku. Because imagine like if you get like 2 cups, for example, or 3 cups of blood, you can stay for like 3 days as Bakugo or Deku or whoever it is. But we know that All For One didn't aim at Deku, like Deku didn't get pierced at this moment. We saw like the Bakugo getting pierced. So what if they now have like a sample of Bakugo's blood, maybe like a cup or something, or some stuff like that, and maybe like when they find Toga, because we saw her in the chapter along with Dabi and, you know, the other League of Villains. What if like she actually regrouped with the villains, they give her a cup or something, and maybe like a duplicate will arrive soon enough. So I think that's an interesting theory, and I really like it. So anyway, the next chapter will focus on those things, and I imagine the Pro Heroes All Might will probably arrive. Maybe All For One will arrive at this moment. Because why, you ask? This foreshadowing, Horikoshi Sensei, you are a beast. I'm gonna tell you why right now. Because when Deku arrived, the dictator said, like, he described him exactly as All For One described him. Like the ruthless, exactly like as his master, All Might, by the way. So what's going to happen next is that what if, like, after Deku fell on his knees and he's now can't fight anymore, which exactly what All For One wanted. And I also talked about this in the last chapter and explained to you guys how did this happen and what All For One's goals were. And what if at this moment, okay, like after Deku is feeling unconscious and Class 1A regroups, maybe All For One will arrive, maybe he will project like a hologram, maybe he will like plant a bomb inside the dictator, which will explode and like after like a while if he gets unconscious, if he fails or something, because we know All For One likes to manipulate a lot of people and he doesn't do anything for free. Like he basically, every time he gives someone anything, there is like an outcome of it, maybe like an outcome of his life, an outcome of anything. He doesn't do anything for good, and that's like All For One. That's how we know him. So in the next chapter, I imagine those things will happen, and it's really interesting to show how like the foreshadowing happening. And another thing that I want to talk about is that you might not like realize this or might realize this, but My Hero Academia is rushing a bit, and I'm gonna tell you why. Like a couple of chapters ago, we saw Deku, you know, just starting to look some sort of dark Deku type of thing, and now he's basically like starting to lose it. And like immediately like lose the vigilante's life and go back to, you know, his normal state, I guess, for now. And I think the story is rushing a bit too much, because, you know, here's what's happening in Jump if you don't know. Basically, sometimes the Jump, like the company itself that published those chapters, tells the author himself that, hey, we need you to wrap this story up because, for example, we want to finish it, or we want to make a place for a new manga. I know that might be crazy, like, My Hero Academia is doing great sales, yes, I know, but sometimes those things happen. Or, like, for example, Gintama, if you don't know. Or, like Demon Slayer, the author himself might be, like, wanting to take a break, or he just want to finish the manga because he got, like, you know, tired, or he have some family stuff that he wants to attend to, like he wants to spend more time with his family, so that stuff might also happen, similar to Demon Slayer author when he did and he rushed the story, or like he closed it off a bit soon. So maybe those things might happen. I hope this rush doesn't like ruin the ending. I don't think Horikoshi is the type of just like, you know what, I'll just finish it, whatever. I think he will finish it greatly. And the story is rushing a bit, but I think it will come out alright. And you know, that's all for me. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I know it's pretty long, but I tried to explain everything in the best way I can. I hope you guys have enjoyed it. If you enjoyed it, feel free to thumbs up this video. Feel free to follow me on Twitter if you want to see the early translated summary, or, you know, some of the early theories about the manga and the chapter. Anyway, I have been the Manga Viewer, and I will see you all next time.